I'll go straight to the point. I don't usually treat that kind of things on my channel, but when I do is because I feel it totally necessary. I even thought if I had to post this video in Portuguese, but this information is necessarily international as that kind of problem may regard the whole world in the next future. Então, queridos amigos brasileiros, além de estar perto de vocês neste momento, convido vocês a ativarem as legendas no seu idioma, caso queiram acompanhar bem todo o discurso. So, what happened? Brazilian Supreme Court, via the judge Alexandre de Moraes, ordered Brazil's telecom agency to block access to X across the nation. It is the result of an escalating fight between Elon Musk and the judge over what can be said online. This regards only Twitter, also known as X, and only in Brazil for now, so some of you might wonder why I had to make a video about it. I'm aware that a lot of people are following me from Brazil, and even if they can still hear me on YouTube, it is really sad that they won't be able to interact with me via X anymore. But it is not just about that. Besides the fact that Brazil is part of the BRICS, and this attitude right now, considering what's going on by a geopolitical point of view, is unexplainable, the problem is that the freedom of speech online is at risk in the whole world. The point is not being in favor of misinformation, but pointing out that this is an excuse for social control and to force people to shut up in the hope their ideas will align to a system that is not even considering human nature. This is already happening in the United Kingdom, where people are being arrested for what they post online, and we don't necessarily talk about particularly hateful arguments. There are very debatable cases where people expressed a simple opinion and have been persecuted anyway. These days they have arrested in France the owner of Telegram. And now we assist to the third step, the Twitter ban in Brazil. If you don't see that something is going on that connects all these events, I'm sorry. To me, a path has been set, and this is just the beginning. And if you don't understand how important freedom of speech is, especially when you disagree with what others have to say, you might consider having been brainwashed already. Seriously, I would defend even the Essentia man till my last breath to let him talk about his bizarre opinions. People cannot be made to shut up forever. There could not be an effective instrument to establish what could be said and what not. The only minimal criteria is when a direct harm is implied. We need more schools and more honest information to let people figure out themselves when they are in front of misinformation, not censorship. Whenever you step beyond and introduce new criteria, making social platforms owners responsible for what people say, and you try to force censorship, making a process to people's potential intentions via the ideas they express, you are the one who puts democracy in danger. You are the one who promotes hate to rise inside people's minds as they have no ways to express it. And yes, this is a real scenario, as we have no clue if step by step this will regard every social platform and even YouTube. Freedom of speech and expression has a long history. Ancient Athenian democratic principle of free speech may have emerged in the late 6th or early 5th century BC. Edward Coke claimed freedom of speech as an ancient custom of Parliament in the 1590s, and it was affirmed in the Protestation of 1621. In 1689, England's Bill of Rights legally established the constitutional right of freedom of speech in Parliament, which is still in effect. One of the world's first freedom of the press acts was introduced in Sweden in 1766. The Declaration of the Rights of Man and of the Citizen, adopted during the French Revolution in 1789, specifically affirmed freedom of speech as an inalienable right. Adopted in 1791, freedom of speech is a feature of the First Amendment to the United States Constitution. Article 19 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, adopted in 1948, states that everyone has the right to freedom of opinion and expression. This right includes freedom to hold opinions without interference and to seek, receive, and impart information and ideas through any media and regardless of frontiers. Today, freedom of expression is recognized in international and regional human rights law. The right is enshrined in Article 19 of the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, Article 10 of the European Convention on Human Rights, Article 13 of the American Convention on Human Rights, and Article 9 of the African Charter on Human and People's Rights. It is important. Please understand that a bunch of judges and irresponsible politicians are throwing away rights conquered in centuries using very debatable reasons to do so. And it could get worse, much worse. Europe might be one of the next aims to feature a X block. That whole uncertain situation honestly makes me feel uncomfortable. This is not the kind of world I would like to live in. I have even to worry if this video will get banned at this point, even if I didn't say anything bad or offensive. I just questioned recent political decisions in other countries, seriously, without any negative intention. Instead, I invite you all to think, to pay attention to what is going on, even when we mostly care about Dragon Ball and anime in general. 'Cause the day we won't be able to discuss even about the stuff we love without a government permission to access the internet, it will be already too late. I doubt I will ever talk again about these issues. What I wanted to clear out is that I don't comply. I care about freedom of speech, and I see with horror the trends of this international situation. We are one humanity that shares interests and childhood dreams. Nobody could turn this off for third ridiculous reasons. That was Prince Gas Vegeta, also known as PGV, on 31st August 2024.